How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about another Brett Kavanaugh accuser. This woman is named Deborah Ramirez, and she said an incident between herself and Kavanaugh happened when they both were attending Yale. I think they were both freshmen. Kavanaugh might have been 18 years old, and I'll place more information about this in the box below. But to sum it up, before we get to a little bit more content and context of the video, she describes the incident from the state of mind of a person who had been drinking and doesn't really remember everything. She said in the particular piece that is in the description box that there are certain gaps in the memory because she was drunk and doesn't really remember what's going on. According to her, somebody, probably Brett in her mind, but she wasn't really clear, somebody eventually thrust their penis into her face as a quote unquote joke. She is saying here that it was Brett, but at the same time, she doesn't really know that. All that she knows is that somebody did it, and in between her gaps in memory, she saw somebody do that, and then she saw Brett on the side pulling his pants up and laughing. But she did not actually see him do it. She doesn't recall if he did it or not. Yet and still, people are saying that this is credible enough to have the FBI investigate. Now, I'm not really sure how this is credible. She didn't even see the man do it. She was drunk. She doesn't really remember. Who knows if the story is true, if the story is false? Brett Kavanaugh is flatly denying it, said that he did not do it. This did not happen. So this is a pretty strong denial. It's not like some other guys that'll come out and say, well, talk to my lawyer, I don't really recall. No, he said, I did not do it. Now, to get back to the whole, this is credible. Is it really? I can't tell. It seems like these people who are talking about this story being credible are ignoring all the things that have happened over the past 3, 4, or 5 days. You had a press conference where about 75 to 100 women came on stage and all defended Brett Kavanaugh. Women who have known him since high school, college, professional career in DC. Women that have said that this man is like a Boy Scout. He's not a drinker. He would be the most responsible person. The allegations that are being levied against him make no sense in their mind. And they would be people that understand what's happening at parties and stuff like that because they were hanging around him during high school and during college. And these women, many of whom were pretty attractive. So if there were something that could be said about Brett Kavanaugh negatively, as far as harassing attractive women, then I think they would know about it. But they all went on stage and defended him. I've never seen anything like that throughout this whole Me Too movement. You may have a woman here and there that may defend somebody that she knows that is being accused of a thing, but I've never seen the groundswell of support that Brett Kavanaugh has. But moving right along, let's talk about Christine Ford, the first accuser. She has named character witnesses, friends of hers, or her bestie or whatever from college, high school, what have you. None of them have backed up her story. Matter of fact, if anything, the opposite has happened. People have said that they don't remember a party ever happening. It didn't happen. She has no witnesses. Nobody's back her up, not even her own so-called friends. All that we have is her word, but yet and still people are saying that there should be an FBI investigation launched. Why should there be an FBI investigation launched when there is no police report? It's really a local matter. You're talking about a thing that happened in the early 80s, allegedly. Why should the FBI be involved? This is a stalling tactic. The meeting or the hearing was supposed to be today. Today's Monday, September 24th, 2018. It was supposed to be today, but it got pushed back to Thursday. What's happening here is that people, the Democrats, obviously, they're trying to push back the confirmation as far as they can. They're trying to delay it. They're trying to smear the man. There's no evidence that says Brett Kavanaugh is this monster that they claim. All they have is this last minute thing, the Me Too situation, because they know that this is a thing that even if it doesn't stick, even if it's not proven, it'll create a cloud. It'll create a stain on the person, and it'll make it difficult to actually get him confirmed, or not as easy as it would be before. And it'll give guys like Jeff Snowflake an excuse to not confirm him. That's all that they have. And it's really a shame because this man has a support from a lot of different people, a lot of women, He's a married man with kids. I mean, imagine what his wife is going through. Imagine what his kids are going through when you have Christine Ford, a woman who did not come out until recently talking about, oh, he touched me or whatever. 36 years later, she spoke to a marriage counselor in 2012. But like I said in the previous video, she did not name Brett Kavanaugh in that particular incident when she spoke to the marriage counselor 6 years ago. And she also said that there were 4 boys that were allegedly involved in the incident. But in a letter that was sent to Dianne Feinstein, which she held for, 2 months and didn't release it until right before the vote to get him in that letter, she said that there were 2 people involved, and that was Brett Kavanaugh and another person. And the person that she named, aside from Brett Kavanaugh, has flatly denied it, as has Brett Kavanaugh. So there's not a whole lot here to really work with. All that they have is accusations and an ability to make somebody appear like they could be guilty, and then you have the media running with it. They're not running with the stories, like I told you before, about all the women that have come out and defended them. The fact that there's not a lot of witness corroboration on the behalf of Christine Ford. They're not talking about the fact that this woman, Deborah Ramirez, the new accuser, was drunk and doesn't even really remember what was going on according to her own testimony. They're not worried about that. They're just worried about trying to get the man smeared. They're just trying to accelerate the defamation campaign. And then you have ambulance chasers like Michael Avenatti bringing up his yearbook, talking about what does this mean? It could be some sexual stuff. And I won't post a tweet from him. This is a family friendly show, but I will place that in the description box below so you're able to check it out for yourself. Really crazy and off the rails things that are being said here. But one thing I want to say before I close out is that Brett Kavanaugh, aside from flatly denying it, also has a defense that may work in his favor. He has calendars from back then, activity calendars, well organized with what he was going to do, if there was parties, if there was some kind of organization meeting, if he had class or whatever. All of that is written in calendars, and he's been able to keep them since the early 80s when he was in high school, college, or whatever. Now, people on Twitter are trying to joke on the man, calling him a geek and a nerd for holding on to calendars that have all his activities on there. But hey, this man is going to be a Supreme Court justice. Why don't you want a person that's going to be in that very important position to be organized? Why is that a bad thing? And why is it creepy or something like that? If it's not creepy for Michael Avenatti to go in the man's yearbook and try to interpret some of his quotes that he put down, why is it creepy for Brett Kavanaugh to keep calendars of his activities? Okay, I mean, where did you get the yearbook from? Obviously somebody kept that, so why can't you keep the calendars? It's the same thing, but there's different standards for different people. Brett Kavanaugh cannot defend himself with old things that he has cut for a long time, but people can bring up accusations from that time for the first time right now when they're trying to get him elected or selected to be the next Supreme Court justice. People can bring up accusations from college when they were drunk and don't even really remember. That's fine. That's credible. But God forbid this man have calendars that has certain things written on it. All I want to say as I close is this. I cannot wait until Thursday of this week. That's when the actual hearing is, or a questionnaire. I'm not really sure how they're going to do it. I'm not sure if Christine Ford is going to be there, if she's going to go first, second, at the same time as Brett. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, I want to see Brett Kavanaugh defend himself. This man, as far as I've been able to tell, is a stand-up, righteous person. I've never seen this kind of groundswell of support for a man from women during a time like this ever. At least not in this whole Me Too era that we're in right now. So I believe that all these allegations will be found out to be false, and we'll have Brett Kavanaugh as the next Supreme Court justice. Democrats, leftists, mainstream, old media, you ought to be ashamed of yourself trying to defame this man. It'll backfire on you once he comes with a mountain of evidence that can't really be disproven. So what do you think? Do you think that Brett Kavanaugh is guilty of the allegations that are being levied against him? Do you think this is all just a tactic from the left to keep him from being confirmed, or to delay the process? Because I don't think they're actually going to be able to keep him from being confirmed, but maybe they want to just delay it past the midterms and stuff like that. I think it's a political game, which is why Dianne Feinstein held on to the letter. I've also heard a rumor, not a fact, not anything other than the rumor, that she held on to the letter, Dianne Feinstein that is, because Christine Ford had allegedly said the same thing about Neil Gorsuch in a letter that didn't come out, and she didn't want this letter to come out and then the other one be unearthed. I'm not sure if that's true or false, but at the end of the day, I think these allegations are a shameful tactic. The woman, Deborah Ramirez, the new accuser, can't even really remember what's going on, but we'll find out once all the information that is not available to us right now comes out and we get to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.